I'm happy that I am in front of the camera and also in front of the fire pit, which really symbolize that I am in front of God at a time when people are in great deal of pain, economic pain, because of the collapse of the stock market and the financial system on the one hand, and personal fear on the other hand. Just before I came here, I went to the Google and looked at the statistics of people who are associating coronavirus to God. The statistic is very meager. From the Christian point of view, there are two views. One is said, you are God's people and God is going to protect. That's one view. But still they cannot go to the church because of the fact that you can infect the other person or you get infected. So God is great, He is going to protect you. That's one thing. And then there is the other one, death's angel is out here to kill people. And there is one more, there are a lot more perspectives on it. And why do I have to talk about all these perspectives at this time? Because this is the time at least to reflect on something other than science. And that is what I'm doing, that's what everybody would be eventually do if situation gets worse, as the WHO announced it as a pandemic. Hope that it's not. But then, what is my own perspective? My own perspective is to accept all these perspectives. They are all true and they are all not true. They only represent a part of the truth. Because science tells us a different reality, that the virus can spread quickly, and we know the dynamics of how it spreads. And we also know that there is no medicine for that. So when we are unable to control medically, because there is no medicine, when we are unable to stop it otherwise, then we have to go to God. Freud said that religion is like, I forget the word you used. It is a kind of, it's very beautiful, a crutch. Religion is a crutch. When there is no explanation for it, some people have to live and then they invented faith. That's another perspective, which again is true and false at the same time. So I'm not here to confuse you. I'm a very brief but profound message for you. And it is certainly worthwhile to think about the coronavirus. In a very objective way, Sylvia Browne predicted it in 2008 or 12. There's the book called The End of Days. And she says there will be a respiratory problem caused by a virus leading to pneumonia. Oh my God, how precise she is. And that is in 2020. It exactly started in 2020 in China. And how did she know ahead of time? I have great respect for her. Of course, her prophecies went wrong, but they also came true. And the police also used her psychic ability to investigate cases that they could not figure out what went wrong. But anyway, the very fact that Sylvia Browne predicted it 8 or 12 years ago makes you to wonder how precise one can get to in predicting precisely respiratory pneumonia virus in 2020. So, it is all out there. And then she also predicted, don't worry, this will go away just as it started. And then 10 years ago, it will come back, and it will be more fierce at that time. I think that's what she said. I don't remember clearly now. But she did say 10 years after, in 2030, it will come back again. I am more a person who has an eclectic view, an approach, and also an approach which tries to synthesize many approaches. This is a time for reflection. And the reflection is to bring religion and science together. The greatest scientist of our modern times is Einstein, who said science's methodology is not going to work because it's lame, it doesn't have methodology to study things outside the realm of matter and logic. And religion is blind faith, which simply says we are all God's people, so we will be protected. It's such a simplistic statement. There is some way of combining the two. Because our mind now has been shaped by science. That's why there is meager discussion going on the role of God and this virus. It's because it's just not occurred to people to go to God again, because God is not something you can relate to. So there is a need now to understand God in terms of science, in terms of technology. Again, when a teenage girl asked Einstein, "Do you believe in God?" Einstein said, "Of course, I do. But not in a sense that religion believes in God, which is faith. I believe in God by looking at the precision, the order that exists in nature, the fantastic intelligence behind the creation of the world. At one point he said, I wanted to know how God created the world. Many times when I was speaking about Einstein, I have said, oh, that's great that he said that. And then I made sense of that by looking at my own tradition, which says, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. Not that the unenlightened being is God, but the enlightened being is God. You are not God as now you are. You are ignorant because we do not know what is going to happen. Sylvia Browne knew because she was using God's energy to predict what it is. So with the help, the God's energy has still to flow through a psychic, the psychic apparatus within us. So it's at least a time for reflection. Now we cannot go to temple or church or anywhere because of the spread of virus. I think at least there is this Facebook, Google and whatnot, the social media, where we can join together and then engage in understanding what it is. So how do I personally look upon this? I personally look upon this from the perspective of looking at our inability to know about the virus. Sylvia Browne knew about it, but she did not suggest that there will be a medicine for it, and that is because she's not a scientist. So it is a matter of reflecting on our own inability and God's ability, and that God is not simply one in the sky or heaven, but He is also the one you are. You are God. God Himself said, God created man in His own image. So this is an occasion to go to God. I don't understand what is God. In my PhD dissertation, I asked the question, who is God? God is a superhuman being or a superman who can do what we cannot do. Exactly, that's what it is with my Father. Everything is possible is Jesus. And He said, the Father and me are the one. And this is what we have to remember. And then evolve to the Godhead, which is latent but dormant within us. So the revival of religion or faith in God is what is needed to combat this virus. And if you just become God, then God is not going to be affected by the coronavirus. And what do I mean by God? The term is confusing, God. In Sanskrit, it very clearly gives an understanding, the term for God gives an understanding of who God is. Deva. In all Indian languages, you see this in some form or the other because India has so many languages. Deva is the primary word, which means a shiny being. So when I say I'm God, I am a shiny being. In scientific terms, I am photons, photon waves. And if we become photon waves, then there is no problem of virus. It is all the flesh and blood that causes the problem. That is my own personal appropriation of who God is and what we are and how we can become immune to all the problems we have, financial, relationship, health, because we are not just the flesh and blood. Paul said, in the wink of an eye, the body will turn into light. That's Bible too, but so this is the time that we have to invoke on the God principles. The God principles are archetypes, are beings up around us. The Bible says also there are angels around you. When Sylvia Browne was talking to Larry King, she said, Larry, I see 4 angels around you. Well, everybody has not only angels. Now when I look at people here, a few people, I see where there are angels, where there are demons too. What can you do? So you have to drive away the demons and keep the angels. So now this fire ritual was a technology developed in ancient times by the people who were able to turn their body into light and still alive and help us. This fire ritual is a means to get God to the earth plane, to fight the virus. Because God knows that we are ignorant people, but then we are affected by this virus. As a result, some people die. So I am going to now invoke this defensive mechanism other than the vaccine, or until we get the vaccine, or even after we are able to find the vaccine, we need some help from the divine. So this is the time, at least for me, it made me to come before the fire pit, which I have not done for a long time. So in a personal way, I can relate to it. Now we can do the fire ritual. It is a device. Just all that you have to do is, it is a means of invoking the angels of God to come and help you to combat the virus. So the first, those of you who have been following me know Ganesha, the elephant-headed guy, who represents the thalamus as well as the anterior cingulate, as well as the neurons in it, the one economo neuron of great intelligence. We are going to, my being here is to synthesize science, religion. So we will invoke him to come and bless us, to protect us. We will start with that. Om Gam Ganapati Namaha. Gananam Tva Ganapatim Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anaha Srunhannodibhiki Sida Sadhanam Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Is this ghee? This is ghee.
That's ghee.
Huh? Om Ganapataye Namaha. Just listen to this sound. Om Gham Ganapataye Namaha. Visualize Ganesha rising from your Muladhara, which is your root chakra, and occupying the entire body and protecting the body. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Amrita Ganapataye Namaha. Om Amrita Ganapataye Namaha. There is a place where Amrita Ganapati resides, a temple. I am going to invoke that Ganapati. Amrita is non-death. Mrita is death, Mritu. Amrita is non-death, or immortality.
When you called on Ganesha, it started raining hard.
Huh?
As soon as you called Ganesha, it started raining hard.
Okay. So somebody is saying here, when I said Amrita Ganapataye Namaha, it started raining. It's very interesting that she said that, because the rain is also called in Sanskrit Amrita. Okay, it's a language created by gods, which means more than one thing. Amrita is also God. Amrita is also the ghee that I am pouring into it. So it's perfect for him to come. And he also lives in turmeric, which I am going to put some turmeric. I am more and more fascinated by the Vedic tradition. The Vedic Pandits, the rishis, are scientists. They are not simply into faith. The rituals they figured out were like technologies. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Amrita Ganapataye Namaha. Om Amrita Ganapataye Namaha. Om Amrita Ganapataye Namaha. Om Amrita Ganapataye Namaha. Visualize Amrita, which is in the brain, which is an elixir, descends down into your body, and as this immortality liquid, Amrita, gets into your body, it protects you from the diseases. That's a scientific yogic way of understanding Ganesha. Om Vidangapuram Amrita Ganapataye Namaha. Vidangapuram Amrita Ganapataye Namaha. Now I am traveling astrally to Vidangapuram, where the Amrita Ganapati brought the elixir to this earth plane. It's a favorite temple which I often used to go. Not many people go. This temple is not visited by many people. Some days many days there are nobody goes there. But anyway, I am taking you taking all of you to the Vidangapuram Ganapati. Om Vidangapuram Ganapataye Swaha. Vidangapuram Ganapataye Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. Vidangapuram Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. The Ganapati's Amrita is flowing from the head and then getting into every cell in the body and protecting the body. Om Vidanga Ganapate Swaha. Om Vidanga Ganapate Vidangapuram Ganapate Swaha. Amrita Ganapate Swaha. Amrita Ganapate Swaha. Om Amrita Ganapati Swaha. Make a very sincere, heartfelt prayer to Ganesha. Vidanga Ganapati, Vidanga Buram Ganapati Swaha. Om Vidanga Bura Amrita Ganapati Swaha. Amrita Ganapataye 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 Swaha. Vidangapuram Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. Vidangapuram Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. Vidangapuram Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. Vidangapuram Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. Vidangapuram Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. Vidangapuram Amrita Ganapataye Swaha. Now I am offering turmeric to Ganapati, and Ganapati and turmeric are very close to each other in the sense that you can get Ganesha to come to the earth plane with an image made up of turmeric. That's what they do in the rituals. And it's interesting, turmeric is one of the miracle herbs that we know. You can see there are 4,000 patents given to turmeric, which is curcumin, and it's supposed to be the answer for cancer, but still they are working on it. Om Vidangagapuram Ganapataye Swaha. Haridra Ganapataye Swaha. Haridra Ganapataye Swaha. Haridra Ganapataye Swaha. Haridra Ganapataye Swaha. Imagine your body filled with turmeric, blood filled with turmeric, and there you have a turmeric body. Om Haridra Ganapataye Swaha. 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 Om Veera Ganapataye Swaha. Gajamukha Suraga Gajamukha Ashura Samharaya Swaha. Gajamukha Asura Samharaya Swaha. There is a demon with the head of an elephant who looked like Ganesha, and he created diseases and also problems, and Ganesha came and killed him. He is the Gajamukha Asura whom Ganesha killed. Om Gajamukha Asura Ganapataye Swaha. Om Gajamukha Asura Ganapataye Swaha. Gajamukha Asura Ganapataye Swaha. Om Gam 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 Ganapataye Swaha. Om Amrita 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 Ganapataye Swaha. Make a prayer to Ganesha. Om Sarahana Bhavaya Swaha. This is Muruga, who is also a demon killer, who came out of the third eye of Shiva. So put your attention on your third eye. Om Sarahana Bhavaya Swaha. 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 Om Skaravana Bhavaya Swaha. Sarahana Bhavaya Swaha. Om Sarahana Bhavaya Swaha. Om Sarahana Bhavaya Swaha. Om Sarahana Bhavaya Swaha. Om Sarahana Bhavaya Swaha. He kills all the demons and the germs, the viruses, the bacteria, all the diseases. Om Shatru Samharaya Swaha. Shatru Samharaya Swaha. Shatru Samharaya Swaha. Shatru Samhara. Swami Malay Nadaya Swaha. Om Tiruchendur Murugaya Swaha. Om Tiruchendur Murugaya Swaha. Om Tiruchendur Murugaya Swaha. Shatru Samharaya Swaha. Shatru Samharaya Swaha. Shatru Samharaya Swaha. Shatru Samharaya Swaha. Sarahana Bhavaya Swaha. Every syllable that I say will go and protect you and kill the virus. Sarahana Bhavaya Swaha. Sarahana Bhavaya Swaha. Skandaya 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 Swaha. Subramanyaya 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 Swaha. He's entering your body, mind and soul, protecting you. Subramanyaya Swaha. Kartikeyaya 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 Swaha. Murugaya 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 Swaha. Kumaraya Swaha. Kumaraya Swaha. Kumaraya Swaha. Kumaraya Swaha. Kumaraya Swaha. Kumaraya Swaha. Subramanyaya Swaha. Subramanyaya Swaha. Subramanyaya Swaha. Subramanyaya Swaha. Guhaya Swaha. Guhaya Swaha. Guhaya Swaha. Guhaya Swaha. Guhaya Swaha. Subramanyaya Swaha. Subramanyaya Swaha, Subramanyaya Swaha, Subramanyaya Swaha, Subramanyaya Swaha, Subramanyaya Swaha, Subramanyaya Swaha. Subramanyaya Swaha, Subramanyaya Swaha, Skandaya Swaha, Velayudaya Swaha, Velayudaya Swaha, Velayudaya Swaha, Velayuda Swaya, Velayuda Swaha, Velayudaya Swaha, Velayudaya Swaha, Velayudaya Swaha, Velayudaya Swaha, Mayuravahanaya Swaha. He comes, Muruga comes on a peacock, Mayuram. Mayuravahanaya Swaha, Mayuravahanaya Swaha, Mayuravahanaya Swaha, Mayuravahanaya Swaha, Mayuravahanaya Swaha, Mayuravahanaya Swaha, Skandaya Swaha, Murugaya Swaha. Om Kukkura Dvajaya Swaha. Om. Om Murugaya Swaha, Skandaya Swaha. Parinil Ahu Ahu Swaha Ahu Swaha. Pray to Muruga to kill the demons in the virus. Now Rudra, Shiva. Om Rudra Shivaya Swaha. 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 Rudra Shiva is the ferocious fighter of demons, and we are invoking him to kill the viruses. Om Rudra Shivaya Swaha. Rudra Shivaya Swaha, Om Rudra Shivaya Swaha, Om Rudra Shivaya Swaha, Om Rudra Shivaya Swaha, Om Rudra Shivaya Swaha. Now send Rudra into your nostrils, into your lungs, into your respiratory system. Om Rudra Shivaya Swaha, into your blood. Om Rudra Shivaya Swaha, 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 Om Rudra Namah 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 Shivaya Swaha, Shiva Shiva 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 Swaha, Rudra Shivaya 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 Swaha. 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 Now raise your hand, both your hands, look up the sky and pray in complete surrender. Appa, Appa, Appa. I cannot suffer anymore. I have suffered enough. Come right now and take care of your children. Up their health, wealth, their relationship. Give them your mercy. Arut Perum Jodi, Arut Perum Jodi, Tani Perum Karunai, Arut Perum Jodi, Arut Perum Jodi, Arut Perum Jodi, Tani Perum Karunai, Arut Perum Jodi. Visualize your body as light, and the Arul Perum Jodi of Shiva is getting into your body and make you immune to suffering diseases. And that is what God promises us. God promises thy kingdom come down to the earth plane as it is in heaven. Thy kingdom come down to the earth plane as it is in heaven. Isho Swaha, Isho Swaha, Isho Swaha, Isho Swaha, Isho Swaha, Isho Swaha, Isho Swaha. Namah Shivaya Swaha, 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 Namah Shivaya Swaha. Om Namo Na Vishnu Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Narayanaya Swaha. Pray to Vishnu who dismembered his own body to create the world. He gets into every part of your body and then cleans it up and blesses it with immortality. Om Namo Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Narayanaya Swaha. Om Dhanvantri Vishnave Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Dhanvantire Amritakalashastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trilokanathaya Vishnave Swaha. Om Narayanaya Vishnave Swaha. Vishnu once came to the earth plane as Dhanvantri, the physician, as Vaidyanatha. Dhanvantri Vaidyanatha Swaha. Dhanvantri Vaidyanatha Swaha. Dhanvantri Vaidyanatha Swaha. Dhanvantri come to this earth plane and protect people from viruses. Protect people from viruses. Om Dhanvantire Namo Bhagavate Dhanvantire Amritakalashastaya Sarvamaya Vinashaya Trilokanathaya Vishnave Swaha. Om Narasimhaya 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 Swaha. Ramhaya Swaha. Ramhaya Swaha. Ramhaya Swaha. Ramhaya Swaha. Ramhaya Swaha. Krishnaya Swaha. Krishnaya Swaha. Krishnaya Swaha. Krishnaya Swaha. Ramaya Swaha. We'll make a prayer to Vishnu to protect you. Om Aim Saraswati Swaha. The goddess Saraswati, the goddess of learning. She's immensely powerful goddess. Om Aim Saraswati Swaha. Om Aim Saraswati Swaha. Om Aim Saraswati Swaha. Bharati Devi Swaha. Bharati Devi Swaha. Bharati Devi Swaha. Om Shrim Briji Briji Swarna Varahi. Shrim Briji Swarna Varahi Devi Swaha. Om Shrim Briji Swarna Varahi Devi Swaha. 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 We invoke her to get the stock market to come back again. Om Shrim Briji Swarna Varahi Devi Swaha. 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 Shrim Briji Swarnavarahi 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 Devi Swaha. Om Shrim Briji Swarnavarahi Devi Swaha. Now Lalita Tripura Sundaryai Swaha. Lalita Tripura Sundaryai Swaha. Lalita Tripura Sundaryai Swaha. Lalita Tripura Sundaryai Swaha. Lalita Tripura Sundari Swaha. She is a demon killer, she is Parvati. Lalita Tripura Sundari Swaha. Balai Swaha. Balai Swaha. Balai Swaha. Bala Tripura Sundari Swaha. Bala Tripura Sundari Swaha. Om Bala Tripura Sundari Swaha. Bala Tripura Sundari Swaha. Balai Swaha. Bala Devi Swaha. Aim Klim Saum 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 Swaha. Now Hanuman. Om Sri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Sri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Hanumantaya Swaha. Rama Bhakta Hanumantaya Swaha. Rama Bhakta Hanumantaya Swaha. Hanumantaya Swaha. Anjaneyaya Swaha. Anjaneyaya Swaha. Agni also see. Now make a prayer to all the gods. We have prayed. And I'm going to make an offering. This is the picture of the world. All the maps of the world here for protection. See the maps. We are going to put that into the fire so that the fire takes it to the gods. God, protect people and bring them to you. They have gone astray, confused by science and the Maya. Not that science is bad, but then they have to understand you as the Almighty, and then they seek you for wisdom, not just knowledge. It's a great blessing, personally for me, that I felt as if I am kneeling down. And he brought me to his presence in front of the fire ritual. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you.